If you haven't had an opportunity to watch the 1973 pilot episode for Kojak called Siege of Terror, stop listening now, major spoilers, here we go. Kojak faces a 2-hour deadline in a daring effort to save the lives of 5 hostages held by a trio of desperate criminals. We're in New York City, ladies and gentlemen, back in 1973. This is one of the best scripted pilot episodes that I've ever seen from way back then. I absolutely love every single thing that they did with this show. And they managed to present this Lieutenant Theo Kojak, played by Telly Savalas, in such a way that is, to be quite frank, it's intimidating. And I can see why all the criminals and stuff are just like, yo, who is this guy? What is he doing? What I love the most, man, was the cinematography. I love the score. And I loved how they didn't put the lollipops in the first episode. Okay? Because whenever, I guess nowadays, whenever you search Kojak, he's going to have a picture of him with a lollipop. And he's famous for his lollipop for some reason. I don't know yet. That hasn't come yet. Come up as I don't know, one of his little things in the season 1, episode 1, pilot episode. It didn't come up. It didn't arise as a problem or an issue. But I guess later on in the series, he'll reveal that. What was pretty cool, man, is there are a couple of actors that were, I guess, maybe their careers started here, and I don't want to ruin that, so I'm not going to tell you who they are. Just like I said, look in the description box, share TV, it's all free. It's the Kojak series. It'll have all the links in there, and just watch it, and you'll be very surprised to see who you see in there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, he's young. That's crazy. At first, I was like, wow. Why? First, let me kind of give you some background. Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is doing this Kojak movie. That's gonna get, I guess, how do you want to say it? It's a reboot, because the movie's already been done. The TV series has already been done. This is kind of like a passion project of Vin Diesel, and it's gonna, I guess, allow him to play the role that Telly played and made so famous. But they're kind of trying to give it to this generation of people, kind of reinvent it, but doing it in such a way that it's going to be more successful than the 2005 series with Ving Rhames. It only lasted, I think, maybe, I'm pretty sure it lasted like 1 season, but maybe like it got cut in half also, man. And I think the reason for that is just there wasn't enough time for the audience to be, I guess, to establish New York City, to establish, the rest of the cops that were surrounding this brand new African-American Kojak. And that's why I failed, man. And then plus the pilot's just really, really bad, man. I'll get to that one. I got a review coming for that one too, because I watched the 1973, then I went and rewatched the 2005 version. Because I watched the 2005 version when I was in Iraq, back in 2005. Got it from the local market that was over there with the bootleg DVDs. So yeah. Anyway, so Vin Diesel, he's gonna be in that role. I guess it's gonna come out maybe probably like 2019, 2020, because his schedule is so crazy right now. And even on IMDb, there's really no information about this besides just a passion project, man, and that's pretty much it. Let me kind of tell you some things that happened inside of the 1973 pilot episode. Well, you get this bald lieutenant. He's a bald police detective. He comes inside of the scene, and where all the other officers either failed to take action or were too scared, he arrives on the scene and things start happening, like, instantly, man. Like, there's this officer that is injured and being held hostage. In order to to get closer than him, they have to actually walk. One of the police officers has to walk inside and, start to go do negotiation tactics and stuff, and start that process. But there was also another officer that was shot, and he's injured lying on the floor, and nobody is able to get to him. So Kojak's like, cover me. And then he jumps inside of his cop car, pulls forward, and then, while people are shooting at him, while the bad guys that are inside of the building are shooting at him, he's able to, drive the car forward that has no armor, has no protection, and he risks his life, man. And immediately, in the pilot episode, you kind of know, like, this dude is pretty legit, I haven't heard any catchphrases, like, who loves you, baby? I haven't heard any of that. I think the pilot episode was just, like I said, it took enough time. It showed you New York City. It showed you the ghettos, the slums. It also showed you the type of people that Kojak is protecting. It introduced you to the community. It introduced you to locations around New York City that might be a problem later on in the series. Like I said, it was like a well-rounded, well-scripted, excellent execution on acting, man. I really, really, really liked this show. I had no clue. I never watched it. I was like, who the hell is Kojak? Like I said, the first time I heard of Kojak was in 2005. But then I was like, who the hell is Telly? Who's Telly Savalas? Like, who is that? And I know who he is now, and I'll never forget him, because I'm telling you, man. I don't want to ruin this, but something happens at the end of the episode, and the bad guys, they know who this dude is now. For the rest of their life, they'll never forget him, because it shouldn't have went down that way. But it did. I just say that, okay? What I love about it also is it kind of takes me back, to the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, when they had these movies that had local police doing something good, like saving people, man, and down in the sewers, and they're drilling away trying to get to hostages. And it takes me back to The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson, which was I guess one of my breakthrough movies, to where when I kind of fell in love with cinema and got away from, I guess you could say, like the kiddie movies, like Disney movies, Aladdin, The Return of Jafar, Fern Gully, stuff like that, and actually started looking at other movies. Okay, so once I watched The Negotiator, I went from The Negotiator over to Face Off, and after that it was pretty much game over. After that, I was like, I'm never going back to watch kiddie movies. I mean, I still, love those movies, but I mean, I don't sit there and watch them, like I used to. I used to rewind them and watch them forever on my VHS, but once I seen The Negotiator, then I seen Face Off, then I seen The Matrix, it was pretty much game over after that, man. And yeah, I'll never forget that. But I love just what they were able to do, man. It wasn't just about Kojak. I mean, Kojak obviously is he's the man in the city. He's a police lieutenant that, means business. People depend on him, and he's just a badass. But it was kind of cool to see him working with the rest of the police force, working with the police commissioner, working with the different staff, with SWAT, other elements, actually bringing in different elements to contribute to rescuing the hostages. And this was just in the pilot episode, man. I'm telling you guys, it's really, really good, man. You guys should check it out if you get a chance. The runtime on this bad boy is about 50 minutes and 22 seconds. It's not that long at all, man, but it's the entire full episode. It's on sharetv.com. Look in the description box. It's right down there. Just click on the link. There is no viruses or any of that stuff. You can go on Google, type in Share TV, and let me just go ahead and put this with you. You guys know I'm a huge Smallville fan, all right? Share TV was started because of Smallville. If it wasn't for Smallville, Share TV, the idea, the concept, the notion would not exist, okay? And I think that Share TV was like before Netflix, before Hulu, before any of these people, and then they just picked it up, okay? It's a way that you can share TV with people so they'll never miss an episode, okay? That's what it's all about. That's the whole concept, the whole notion. And I'm sitting here watching everything, man. I'm watching anything that I can possibly watch, and then after that I'll sit here, review it for you guys, and then share the information, man. But I love the episode, man. Absolutely loved it. And I'll continue on, guys. I probably won't sit here and review every single episode of Kojak 1973. Probably just be like maybe the pilot episode, the finale, stuff like that. There's 5 seasons though, so don't expect, you know, my YouTube channel to fill up with that. It's not gonna happen. But anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks again for listening, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, man. I really appreciate the support, man. And yeah, we're out of here, man.